Okay, everybody, I have a tiny project I'm going to be doing today. I have a new reverse lockout for the new shift knob we made. Now, there's a video up here if you're interested in watching that shift knob be made. And the reason I'm filming this is the process to change this out isn't quite as straightforward as I thought it would be. So I figured, hey, I'm going to go ahead and record it because this might help somebody else down the road. So we're going to just get started. I want to be honest, the reason I'm changing this out is this thing rattles a lot. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a lot of play in it and it rattles. And this newer shift knob has some kind of seals in it, and we'll put grease in it. So that'll help it not make so much noise when we're on the highway. Okay, we're going to go over just a couple of the things and tools you need to do this. It's actually a very simple project. You're going to need a stubby screwdriver. You're going to need some kind of metal rod, whether it's an Allen key or a drill bit that you can put through a hole to hold some tension. You're going to need a punch. I used a 3/32 punch. It seemed to work very well. You're going to need a hammer. And lastly, you're going to need a set of pliers or channel locks. Two other things you probably will need also are a jack of some type and a towel or paper towel. Okay, so here is the factory reverse lockout. This situation here, this is what we're replacing it with. As you can see, there's going to be a roll pin that we have to punch out. But before we get started doing that, we actually have to jack up the car. So the reason we're underneath here is we need to access the reverse lockout. And you'll notice you should have a different attachment on yours than I do on mine. I'm not sure why that's there. But what you need to do is you need to put something like this through this hole while it is depressed. So I'm going to see if I can get that done. Okay, so I had to use two hands. So I've got the reverse lockout pushed back and this little drill bit holding it in. You could put it in the hole, but I want it actually to be raised up a little bit so it's not putting tension on that roll pin on the kind of carrier that's inside of that. So now that we're done with this, we move back inside the car. So our next step is to remove our shift knob. And again, we custom made this. So if you want to see a video about that, click right here. Now that our shift knob is off, we'll need to go grab a punch to pull that out. Now that we've got our punch ready, we're going to push our thing forward into third gear so that it's not wiggling around while we use our punch. So the punch I'm using is a 3/32. There's probably a few sizes that would work. Okay, that's our roll pin out. So we can remove our punch. Be careful because there is a spring. And this come right off. Okay, that's the roll pin that comes out of there. So put that in a safe spot where we don't lose it. Next, we're going to remove this cover. And it's important to know that Your cigarette lighter down here is going to have an electrical plug, but and this may be different because sometimes you may have to remove the shift boot, but on this particular model, this just pops out. And you may have to move the shifter back slightly. And then here's our plug for our cigarette lighter and the little LED that goes into the ashtray. And then there's a clip that you depress and it pops out. So with that out of the way, all that's left to do is remove, there's 2 Phillips screws on the bottom of this. And for that, you're going to need a small little stubby screwdriver. And even then, you might have to remove this rubber boot that's below the shift bezel that comes out with these little plastic screw clip things. You don't really need a tool to take them out, they just kind of unscrew themselves. Don't lose those either. And that pulls off. So now we've got clearance to get our screwdriver in to the 2 Phillips screws that are down here. Great. So as you can see, those 2 screws screw in through here and through this plate right here. For some reason this one's not wanting to come out with all the way yet. There we go. Okay, there's our shift knob completely removed. So this is going to go right there. Pretty cool. And you can see that it's not quite as long, but it should look pretty cool, I think. Much improved. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this back. It's not needed to be off anymore. And as you can see, it just kind of lines up with these posts. And you take these little guys and you just push them down. And for the other one, you do the same thing. It's up here. Okay, that's installed. Now next, we've got to put our reverse lockout on, our beautiful reverse lockout. Okay, so here's our reverse lockout, ready to go on. The first thing we need to do is take this grease that was given to us by the manufacturer, Perrin, and put some in there. It doesn't take a lot. Put a little bit there, and I'd say put some on the actual shift shaft itself. It doesn't seem like there's a direction that this needs to face other than right side up. We're going to slide that down. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our roll pin and get it situated where we can hammer it into our new reverse lockout. In this stage, we are just gently tapping it in to get it started. Seems to help if you push this forward. It gets rid of all the play. And then now comes kind of the tricky part. We have to line this up with the hole vertically. This eyelet right here is where the roll pin goes through. I just can't seem to stay focused on it. So you'll want to line this up with that before you start hammering this in. Because once you start pushing this in, it's going to give because of this notch, and you don't want to miss that hole. And so to test that, rather than hammering and scuffing up our new anodized silver piece, I'm going to take this cheap piece of paper towel and some channel locks and place the back side of that on there. We're going to squeeze, and it should go in once you get it lined up to the right spot. Okay. Kind of pulled it off and reassessed. There we go. See how easy that goes in? Okay. We are 99% in. And for the last little bit to get this flush, we're going to put our punch back inside that roll pin and give it just a few light taps to make sure it is sitting flush with the collar. And then we could go a little bit more. Like that. Next step, we're going to pull this back out of third gear, put it back a little bit more. That makes putting this on so much easier. We're going to plug our cigarette lighter and an ashtray LED plug back in. Slop that down into place. Like so. Then we're going to take our nice new shift knob that we made and make sure we're not cross-threaded. We're going to spin that down. Fortunately, I've already gotten all kinds of goop on this from the grease from the reverse lockout. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now our last thing that we have to do is crawl back under the car and pull out the pin we have holding the reverse lockout in place. Here. Okay, just a reminder, that's where our pin is. This is the driver's side of the transmission. If you're in the United States, pull that out and it should slide back into place. Why is it so hard to get under these things? Now we're back in the car. I can try it, and I've noticed that it goes into reverse just fine, and it returns back to where it's supposed to be. I think it will wear in a little bit because it does seem to kind of, it slides freely enough, but it's not as loose as it used to be, which is good because now it won't, we've lost that rattle. So when we're on the highway, we're not going to be hearing that you know, from the plastic pieces. I mean, that's a cheap piece of plastic, and the rest. All right, finally having tested everything, make sure it's working. We remove our jack stand, remove our floor jack slowly. And we're done. Thank you all so much for watching this. Like I said, it was a little counterintuitive. I
Didn't know that we had to get underneath the car, and you definitely want to do that step because that thing is spring loaded, and you could lose that eyelet that's inside the shaft and not be able to get it back out, and then you're really in trouble. You're having to completely take off the shift linkage or the reverse lockout linkage and push that back up to capture it again. So hopefully this helps, and if you're trying to do something like this, it gives you a good picture before you get started. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and ask questions if you have any. Thank you.